Nice bike, Nathan.
You like that? It's probably nicer than staring at all my junk on the shelf behind me.
I got one of those contraptions that you can use to make your regular bike stationary. So,
Oh yeah, the trainer.
mine kind of looks like that.
I have one of those too, but my wife won't let me put it in my living room, and that's really the only place we have. So it's hard to motivate to go in a cold garage to use it.
Yeah. I got mine in the basement in front of a TV.
Nice, there you go.
Katie, are we good to go?
Yep, we're all set.
Great. Okay. My lights have been flickering, so I have asked that if I lose power, someone else please take over. But for now, if let's see here. First things first, we'll do roll call. And Katie, could you do that for me?
Anderson,
Present.
Becerra,
Present.
Contos,
Here.
Harp,
Present.
Hess, Jones, Merritt,
Present.
Ramos.
He's going to be a few minutes late.
Okay. Cheryl,
Present.
Vasika,
Present.
Von Lossberg, West. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. Very quickly, if we could put information up for people to know how they can participate. We continue to meet virtually. And if you are joining us via Zoom webinar and you would like to provide comments, please use the raise and lower hand feature to raise your hand, and I'll call on you to provide comment. If you are calling by participating by phone, you can raise and lower your hand by pressing *9 and *6 to mute and unmute yourself. You can always leave a voicemail for counsel at 406-552-6012, or you can at counsel@ci.missoula.mt.us. And with that, we will move to our what do we have first? Minutes. We have minutes from January 6th, 2021. Does anyone have any amendments to those minutes? Seeing none, those will stand approved. And I will quickly check to see if we have any public to provide public comments. And I don't see any. So with that, we can move on to our first item on our agenda, and that is Cares Park Stormwater Outfall Phase 2 Project Addendum 1, Cares Park Improvements, and Nathan McLeod.
Thank you. So my name is Nathan McLeod. I am the Park and Trail Design and Development Specialist for the City of Missoula. And I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the amendment to the Cares Park Stormwater Outfall Phase 2 contract with Morrison Maryland. So what we're proposing to do is to include the design and construction administration services for Cares Park improvements with this project. The proposed improvements are to areas of Cares Park that will be affected by the stormwater project. And these improvements were part of the North Riverside Parks and Trails Master Plan, which was adopted by the City of Missoula in November of 2020. It's been endorsed and adopted by many other local organizations and has followed a robust public process where we received a significant amount of support from the public. The Cares Park Improvements project has a strong support from our partners, including the Downtown Missoula Partnership, the Public Works Department, and the North Riverside Parks and Trails Blue Ribbon Committee. The fee estimate for the professional services contract is $71,287. It includes $54,569 in design services and $16,718 in construction administration services. The Downtown Foundation has contributed $10,000. The Downtown BID has contributed $10,000. The Downtown Association has contributed $5,000. $38,000 of park asset management funds have been contributed, and the remaining $8,287 in construction administration fees is to be determined in fiscal year 2022. And this would only be needed if we move forward with construction, which would require further fundraising as well. So we're proposing moving this project forward for several reasons. Number one is combining the park improvements with the stormwater project gives us the ability to save approximately $100,000. That's $29,000 in savings for professional engineering services and $70,000 in savings of construction costs. Number two is limited disturbance of the park and park users. Timing of the park improvements with the stormwater project will limit closure of the park to one season. It makes sense to time this with the Higgins Avenue Bridge project, which is already causing significant impacts to the park. And additionally, due to COVID, it's unlikely that we'll be holding large gatherings or events in Caras Park this summer, making this an ideal time to begin construction. Number three, the improvements will add capacity for future events, expands our ability to host different types of events, which are revenue generators for Parks and Recreation and our park partner organizations. And it provides more multi-use space for everyday activities, which creating a park that better serves all people. Number four, the park improvements are needed because the current infrastructure is starting to degrade and fail. Much of the existing infrastructure was built in the 1980s, which is the approximate lifespan of these type of park features. And as the infrastructure continues to degrade, maintenance costs will increase. The improvements will result in a reduction of maintenance costs, as well as providing a better user experience for park visitors. So ultimately, we feel that the resulting cost savings, the enthusiasm from our partners and the public for this project, and the limited impacts to the park warrant moving this project forward now. I want to thank you for your time and consideration, and I'm available for any questions. And also Andy Schultz from Public Works, who is the project manager of the stormwater project, is also here, and he can answer questions, and he may have something to say as well.
Great. Thank you, Nathan. Any questions from council members? No questions. Oh,
March, I'm assuming you're calling on me?
I couldn't see your hand, but now I got you. So
Okay, good.
go ahead.
I don't have a question, but I would like to propose that we approve the motion if no one has any objections to that. And if I might just make a comment.
Sure.
I think this is one of the best examples we've seen of fiscal responsibility and efficiencies and effectiveness all rolled into one package. And I think due to the timing of what we're facing as a community, this is just a great opportunity to make use of some really quiet downtime in the Caras Park area. So therefore, fewer people would be impacted by the construction. So I wholeheartedly endorse this idea.
Thank you, Heather. And next I see Gwen Jones.
Spotty. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure, Nathan, was there some communication with the Missoula Downtown Association, since they, I'm sure, are coming up with all sorts of contingency plans for this summer in terms of Caras Park, but they're aware of all of these plans?
Yes, they're aware. And Linda has been in communication with us almost daily on this project. She is one of the main reasons why we're moving forward, because she was like, let's do it. She's excited about it, and they're actively raising money for the project.
Thanks so much. Great.
Amber.
Thanks. I think this is a great project. I'm supportive of it. I apologize if I missed this. The wind has branches hitting the window behind me, and it's really hard. I'm having a hard time concentrating as I'm jumping around. So the timing, when would this potentially start, and how long would it take? Did you say that? I'm sorry if I missed it. I am hopeful, I'm an endless optimist, so I am hopeful that we will be able to use some outdoor space sometime at the end of the summer, and I'm just wondering about how that would be impacted.
So the design process will take a little bit of time. We would hope to go to bid for construction in June, early June, and then construction would be either late in the summer or fall of this year. So Higgins Avenue Bridge is still going to be ongoing during this time as well. So there's already impacts to the park from that project.
Okay, great. Thanks. I'm really supportive of it. Thank you.
Okay, let's see if there's any public. There's no public to provide comment. Anyone else has any questions? Okay, seeing none. I too am very supportive of this. I know firsthand how the Missoula Downtown Partnership and many other members of the community have come together to work on the park redevelopment, if you will, project, and that's going to be a tremendous asset to the community. And I also think that once you have an opportunity to combine projects and construction and updates, it serves everyone to go ahead and do that. So I think that this does that for us. So I will be supporting this. So we have a motion on the floor. If we could get roll call vote, please.
Anderson,
Yes.
Becerra,
Yes.
Contos,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
Hess,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Merritt,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
Vasika,
Yes.
Von Lossberg,
Yes.
West.
Yes.
That's 11 yeses and no nos.
Great. Thanks, everyone. And that will be on our consent agenda. Thank you, Nathan and Andy, for your work on this.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next on our agenda is a professional services agreement with Morrison Murray for the Momot number 2 lift station, the water system improvement project, and Ross Mollenhauer is here to present.
Thank you, Merita. Hello, everybody. My name is Ross Mollenhauer. I am the city engineer for utilities, and I'm also helping to fill in for Dennis's role in his absence. So this project that I'm here to talk about today is really 2 projects. I guess I'm here to ask the council to approve a professional services agreement with Morrison Merrily for 2 projects, the Momot number 2 lift station and the Harlequin Court water system extension, water main extension project. So I think it's probably easiest to explain this if I share my screen and show a map. Is that okay, Mirta?
Yes, please.
Let me just set this up. All right, is everybody able to see this screen? We're good? Okay, this is out by the airport. This is basically Broadway and the railroad running here. There's 2 projects that we've known for a while. We need to replace the Momot number 2 lift station. It's one of a series of lift stations that carries wastewater all the way from the Y all the way to Reserve Street, where it flows by gravity down towards the plant. But that whole section going west there is all kind of one lift station after another. And we've slowly been pecking away. A couple of, maybe 5 years ago, we did Momont number 1 lift station. Now we're in the process of doing Grant Creek lift station, which is downstream. And after working with our engineers, we realized that this lift station, that we have 2 options. We could either rebuild the lift station and continue to pump it, or we could put a gravity bypass in that would run down Broadway. Basically, the lift station's here. The gravity bypass will need to go underneath the railroad tracks, and then along Broadway and end right here where we have a large gravity sewer main. So after doing a cost benefit analysis, we looked at it and realized that this option will cost more, but over the long term, we expect to save money in power costs and maintenance costs. So we're excited to be able to take a lift station offline. It's always a lot of work for the collections guys to maintain those. So that's the sewer project. And when we started looking at this, we realized, because we're one public works department now, we realized that there's a water project here as well. This is a water main extension from Harlequin Court. Harlequin Court is this little dead end road right here. It comes off of Expressway. And the water utility owns land up on the hillside here called, it's the Airway Boulevard tank site that we'd like to build a tank on someday. But one of the limitations to building a tank there is we don't have a way to convey the water to the tank site. And this is one of the harder parts to get a water main across, right? It's crossing the MRL tracks again and the MDT right away. And so this is the future proposed George Elmer intersection down here. And we feel that if we can just get this water main here, that development, even if not part of the bill grant yet, that development will can eventually pick up from here and keep running these water mains south towards the river, where we're going to have some well sites eventually. So we don't expect the water main project to be constructed this year. I would expect that the sewer project could be constructed fairly soon, but the water project, I think we just want to get the design done. A lot of the design involves permitting with MRL and MDT, and it really makes a lot of sense to do all that at the same time. So that's why we're bringing both these projects together. I'm happy to answer any questions, but I think, yeah, I'm going to end it there, and thanks for your time.
Thank you, Ross. Any questions? Julie?
Yeah, Ross, just to clarify, so you would you'd go ahead and do the permitting and get the access that you need from MRL for the water line at the same time?
Yeah, that's correct. And we have easements in place already for these. It's more the right-of-way permits and the MRL permits necessary. We would have to do some geotech work because we'll be boring underneath the railroad, so we could get those geotech permits and site investigations done all at the same time.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to make the recommended motion, Mirta.
Okay.
Great,
And
thanks, Julie.
Sorry, let me also say that both of these projects will be funded with the Water Enterprise Fund and the Sewer Enterprise Fund. I would expect some of it will come out of the Sewer Development Fund as well, just because there's growth related. We're doing the sewer project for growth reasons.
Great point, thank you. Brian?
Thanks. Thanks, Ross. Good to see you. Thanks for the details and particularly the map. Mostly just curious, what kind of process is involved in going underneath the railroad tracks? And more specifically, I'm just kind of interested in, like, how long does that take? Is it a pretty quick thing, or my interest is piqued?
Sure. Like I said, this is one of a series of lift stations, and this we've already been engaged in the design effort for the Grant Creek lift station, which is just downstream of here, and we are planning to bore this summer. We're going to be bidding that project pretty soon, and so the engineers have been working with MRL to get permission. We've had geotechs out there, like I said, to figure out how what the boring conditions will look like. I don't think MRL's been, they're affected by COVID too. So there's been people out of the office, and it's been a little slower than maybe it would have been if there wasn't a pandemic to coordinate with them, but they've been very helpful in helping us get this along, and they have a process for it. We've got sewer mains and water mains, lots of them underneath their tracks. And yeah, I'd say it adds a couple of months to the design process of back and forth between the engineers and MRL, but it's not too bad.
How long does the actual boring take?
That's a good question. Not boring of this length, I would guess maybe 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So maybe, thank you, Ross. Maybe we need to get some hard hats and invite some council members.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian, I'll let you know when this Grant Creek project comes along.
I'll bring a little shovel. Maybe I can help.
Okay.
I'm interested in going too, so I'll go. Great, thank you so much. So we have a motion on the floor, and I see no public to provide public comment. So with that, we will take a roll call vote, please.
Anderson,
Ashley?
Yes. Becerra,
Yes.
Contos,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
Hess,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Merritt,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
Vasika,
Yes.
Von Lossberg,
Yes.
West.
Yes.
Okay, that's 11 yeses.
Great, so that too will go on our consent agenda. Thank you, Ross.
Thank you.
And next, we have combined utility billing update. And Katie Emery will be presenting for us. Take it away, Katie.
Let me get my presentation up here. Okay, everybody see that all right?
I can barely hear you.
Okay. Is that any better?
Yeah.
Good, I think it's still good morning, council. I am Katie Emery. I am the Admin Services Manager for Public Works and Mobility. And we would like to update all of you on where we're at with the combined utility billing. So we've got some information for you. So I did this little timeline just to show everybody kind of where we started and where we are today. We did first formalize a team for implementation, I believe in the spring of 2018. We started the stormwater configuration into our billing system about the fall of 2018. That officially went live with the water bill as of February of last year. And we jumped right into starting the sewer configuration into CIS. We did have you all update our utility billing ordinances so that we were allowed to do combined billing. And those did go into effect at the beginning of this month. And finally, we are ready to go live with a complete combined utility bill with sewer, wastewater, sewer, stormwater, and water as of February 1st. So city staff is really relieved and happy to finally be at the point where we're at the end of this project. And everything is on track for February 1st. So some of the benefits with us going to a combined bill is now all of the city customers will have one monthly utility bill. So we will no longer have a sewer bill that is billed semi-annually. So all sewer, stormwater, and water will all be on one bill. And I will show you the redesign of our bill here in a little bit. So something to note is that customers will only be charged for the service that they are provided. So if you are within city limits, you should have a stormwater fee because you are within the MS4 permit. If you're on a well, you should not be receiving a water charge on your bill, and then the same goes for sewer. So if for some reason, we've pretty much 100% positive that this is not going to happen, but if it does, we just ask our customers, let us know immediately if you're receiving charges for a service that you don't have. It's a pain to go back on bills and cancel bills in our system, so we want to know next month. We will go down to maintaining one software system and one database. This will save an enormous amount of staff time to make sure both of these are updated with the correct information. And we will now have additional payment options for all utility customers. We will still have our online payment portal that is up now on the website. Those are by credit card most of the time. We do have that charge for credit card, unlike how it used to be for sewer, so our customers do need to be aware of that. Our direct debit program is where we pull out your balance out of a checking or savings account on the due date of your bill every month. This we really want to push people to use. It is just a huge time saver for everyone involved. You still have the option to set up bill pay through your personal bank, so we get electronic payments that way. You can still pay by phone with a credit card. That is also a $2.95 charge. You can mail in a check, and our office, we do have a drop box for check or cash. Currently, we are not having anyone enter our lobby due to COVID-19. Some highlights that I just wanted to reiterate that came from the utility billing ordinance changes that we did this summer. We have removed any late payment fees that were only applied to sewer, so you will not have that moving forward. The property owner is ultimately responsible for all charges from their tenants on their piece of property. However, tenants are allowed to sign up if they fill out the request to bill tenant form that is located on our website. That has been working out very well and is a method that is used in several cities in Montana. The applications of payment will go in a hierarchy with stormwater first, sewer second, and water last when payments are applied. We have set up a utility service appeals committee that will address any customer billing complaints if they're just not able to be addressed at the customer service department. And then we do have the ability to lien properties due to non-payment. This was only applied to sewer before now, but we are able to do it for all three. But this is a last resort option. This is never our first option. We do a lot to try and get our customers to pay, and we know with COVID-19 right now that it is difficult for some of our customers, and we are working with them. Some common questions I feel like customers need to know if they have a credit sewer balance from 2020. So those balances are going to be applied into our new billing software as a credit to your sewer charges. So those will come directly over. If there's any outstanding sewer balance from 2020, balances will stay in the Eden software and then placed on lien on tax bills in September. Customers can still pay their bill by August 15th of 2021. So we do have customers who only pay their sewer bill once it goes onto their tax bill. So there's a lot of people in town that do that. So we are waiting until the next lien cycle, and then hopefully we can weed out and remove the Eden module that we will still have to pay for at least the next until September. You can always call us to sign up for an account so we can get all of your correct information. That number gets you to the utility billing department. You pay your utility bill online, over the phone, mail, via Dropbox, bill pay, and direct debit. You can still call us if you have any account or service related questions. And then to receive your bill, it is defaulted that you receive a paper copy in the mail, or you can elect to do an e-bill by an email. We are pushing the e-bill right now because we are seeing some severe delays with the Postal Service. So we have also increased the amount of days to pay your bill from 19 to 26. But e-bill you will get right away, so you're not relying on the Postal Service. So we would encourage our customers to start using our e-bill option. Our bill redesign is looking a little bit different than what it normally is. We have removed anything that has said Missoula Water, since this is a combined utility bill. All it now will say City of Missoula utility bill. We have all of the contact information up at the top. As you can see, the bill has a lot of information on it, which doesn't leave us a lot of room for adding messages to our customers. So we will be trying to reach out in different ways through social media, press, and then our newsletter is still going to be useful for us. And then also doing bill inserts with your bill to hopefully get messages out to our customers. So kind of the meat of the front page here, we do have any service details in here. Account and customer numbers are always very important. Our classifications for stormwater and wastewater, those will are coordinated with our utility rate schedule. We did keep all of the charge details on the right-hand side here, very clean, hopefully helps people to understand what they're being charged for, as well as a bill summary down here at the bottom and due date. We did decide to keep the graph because we know that that was a concern with a lot of our customers not to have the graph. The graph is online as well in the portal, but we did decide to keep it on the bill. Explanations of charges, and I apologize for being so faint on this, but on the back of the bill at the top, we will have an explanation, a summary of explanation of charges for each utility. So it's a lot of information to have that we just don't have enough room for everything. So we do have links to our website on here that will hold all of the information. And then as well on the back page, just some information on past due accounts, how to pay your bill, and then still having the ability to sign up for the free direct debit program. So when you send in your stub in with your check, that we can get you signed up quickly. And we just want to do a thank you to all of the city staff members who have taken the last several years to really, without these people, this would not happen. So on top of doing everything else that they do for on a daily basis, they were also plugging away and trying to get this ready here for February 1st. So a big thank you to all of them. Any resources, so this is on the website to go to, and we just ask customers to just be patient with us the next few months. I can imagine we will see a large uptick in our phone calls. We already take 200, 250 a day. So please just be patient with us and we'll get to you. So I'd like to open it up for any questions.
Thank you so much, Katie. And yes, thank you to everyone who worked on this. I know it's not easy, and I know you had to enter a lot of information, individually and look over so many customers' information. So your work is appreciated. I think it's gonna make life easier for everyone to have it this way, and I'm sure we'll have to work out some kinks and some details as we perfect the system. But it's one that was needed, and so I appreciate it. And I think, Katie, that customers were informed that this was coming in several ways, but I know that in the newsletter we also had information about this happening, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And then we will also be sending out a press release towards the end of the month as well, right before it gets started, just to give a reminder out to everyone.
Yeah, great. Questions I see. Stacy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My question, sorry, is I'm super excited to see this as the person who pays the bills in my own household. Having this all together and monthly will make life easier, and just one of the many advantages as we continue to highlight the fact that now we have all the utilities. This is just a continued service we're able to provide to our folks here in Missoula. So thank you so much for all the hard work. My question is for those with outstanding balances, especially around the sewer, because it's billed twice annually. Like, how will that appear on their first in that February bill? Because I'm assuming, going forward, it will just be parsed out, for the monthly, divided by 12. But if there's balances, how will that be incorporated?
So the remaining sewer balances for 2020 is going to remain in the Eden financial system module. So I will be sending out a letter every month until July for these
Katie,
customers.
you're fading in and out.
Can you hear me now?
Better, yeah.
Okay, I'm in city chambers, so we'll see. So the city sewer outstanding balances will remain in the Eden module, so they will not be brought over into the utility billing system. I will be sending out a letter each month or every other month. I haven't quite decided on that, for these customers to try and get them to pay before it goes on a lien in September. But it would not work well for us to transfer it over into CIS at this point.
Great. Okay. And I wonder if that might be, I realize press releases, you want to kind of keep it short and sweet to the point, but I just don't want anyone to inadvertently, when they see, I know I have missed sewer bills and because of its kind of irregularity, and have people inadvertently think because they now see that charge is on their bill that they are taking care of, and then end up with a situation. So
Yeah.
just kind of, I understand you're sending out letters and that's great, but I just don't want anyone to kind of, fall into a gap because of that. So thanks so much for all of this.
Thank you for bringing that up. I'll write that down.
Thank you. Next I see Julie and then Heather.
Thanks, Katie. Thank you for all the hard work you've put in on this. I think this is a really good move forward. I do have a question about the additional charge for using a credit or debit card. I guess that has always kind of irked me a little bit because it is a very convenient way for someone to pay their bills. The $2.95 per time you use that seems it just seems high to me, and I'm wondering if you can explain how we arrived at that number.
So we use a company called Paymentus that came over from Mountain Water days with the billing system. So our finance department is aware that we would like to change that so that so if right now the sewer billing pays the credit card fees. So they usually budget $50,000 to pay for that for the customers. So either we would like to get that dropped or we take it on. So we've been working with the finance department for quite some time to try and get a solution for that, because we would like people to use their credit cards more often than sending in a check and doing it that way. So it's been an ongoing process to try and figure that out and what's best for our customers and then our system as well and what we can financially take on.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Thank you. And Heather?
Actually, that was one of my questions. And Julie, kind of what I was thinking about with that fee is, as inconvenient as it is, it sure beats having to write out a check each and every month and then putting a stamp on that envelope and sending it in. The reality is, no matter who the organization is, whether it's private, nonprofit, or government sector, the bank has a fee that gets passed along. And either we absorb that or we ask our users to actually pay for that particular fee. And so I think the good workaround is, if you want an electronic payment, if you can swing it to pay it via EFT through your bank as an automatic debit, I think that, I guess, is a good loophole, if you will, to avoid that fee. The other thing, I just really wanted to commend you. I know this has been a long 2-year process to get to this point. Software upgrades do take a lot of time. And I think this is one that really our entire community is going to really benefit from. So I just want to herald all those folks that were instrumental to making this happen, Katie. And if you can pass along our gratitude, I think we would all really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And Myrta, do you have your motion? Did I miss that?
It's an informational item.
Oh, thank you. Perfect.
But thanks. Yeah. Okay, I don't see any more hands up and no members of the public present. So with that, I thank you, Katie, for the presentation, all the great information and all the work that everyone has put in to make this happen.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone. And with that, we don't have any other items on the agenda. We would be adjourned.